I'm not gonna lie, this video is probably more trouble than it's worth, but I don't see enough people talking about it, I don't see why more people are talking about it, thus this video. Terraria is a good game, it's a beautiful game. It's one of the best selling games on Steam and incites creativity and overall good times. But if you've played this game for a while, then you'll start to notice something. It might not be extremely obvious at first, but the more you play, the more apparent this issue starts to become. And why it has wronged me. And that is the use of maritime weaponry. It's so dumb! It's such a dumb idea that never should have come into fruition in the first place! The very thought of combining fish with weapons is something no man should— Now, vanilla regular fish. The idea is cute, it's nice, and it's gimmicky. And it should have stopped here. First we begin with the frost daggerfish. It's a nice throwable weapon, a bit weird, but I'd imagine if I threw a real frozen fish at someone, it would do considerable harm. It has its place. Next up, we have the sawtooth shark. There's a real life counterpart to this. There's a sawtooth shark that exists in real life. Maybe Relogic thought it would be a good idea to turn it into a chainsaw. It's a cool idea. I like it. I honestly like the idea. The swordfish. It is also another example of a nice, cute concept of ocean weapons that makes sense. There's a swordfish in real life. What if we turned it into a sword? Except that it works as a lance in-game, which is a bit weird, but we can look past that. Now we have the reaver shark. This is where the lines of reality is a bit warped a bit. But it exists, you know, the reaver shark exists. It was OP in 1.3, in 1.4 it can no longer mine hellstone. It got nerfed, it sucks now, but hey, I'm not gonna complain. The rockfish. Now, I don't know about you, but I was never raised to have this preconceived idea that a rockfish exists in real life. There is no real life counterpart to this imaginary weapon in game. Certainly the stonefish exists, but there is no fish that you intentionally swing to do damage. The bombfish. What the fuck? What is this? I know it's supposed to be a bomb, but what kind of fish in real life is this supposed to represent? How do you even fish this up without blowing up an arm or a leg? Stupid concept. I don't condone it. I was fine with everything else up until now, but this is where I draw the line. Unfortunately, it gets a lot worse. I, for the life of me, do not nor will not ever know why this concept made it to the final build. First up, the mini shark. For a one-off weapon, it's a pretty good idea. There's a fish, it has a gun, it shoots musket balls. I like it. Then came its successor, the megashark. And I was like, okay, fine, sure. Maybe one might not be satisfied with just a mini shark. Maybe there's this iota of a demographic that might have wanted a second fish gun. Next we have the Gatligator. And this is when I started thinking about making this video. Why is it here? Why does it exist? Why is that bullet traveling so slow? It's a shitty gun for a shitty concept. I wouldn't use this gun even if it didn't have this stupid gimmick going on. Who would use this? I don't get the SDMG. And I kid you not, if you go onto the wiki right now, you will see this labeled as one of the aquatic automatic weapons. This one doesn't even have any trace of a gun. It's a dolphin with cybernetic hardware that gives no implication that it should be able to fire bullets in the first place. Where even is the barrel? Is the mouth the barrel? Oh god, it is the mouth. And yeah, okay, there's only 4 guns in this category, and maybe Terraria has some weird obsession with fish guns and wanted to make a little niche for guns made out of fish, tools made out of fish, and all of its maritime, aquatic, oceanic, weird-ass bullshit. It's a weird idea, but it should have stayed just that, an idea. But for what's in the game right now, it's acceptable. Then Calamity came along. So instead of leaving this grotesque Frankensteinian concept alone, Calamity decided to take it even further and introduced, and for the record, this is just a conservative list because I'm not going to explore every corner of, honestly, what the game developers have made to essentially bully me. What hit me? Fuck you. It is truly disgusting that some game developers would do this horrible thing. It should have never made it off the drawing board, but let's quickly speedrun through some of these. Archer fish. Dumb idea. Barracuda gun. This gun is a joke. How is the fish even coming back? It shouldn't have that ability, but it does! And it's dumb! The DRAGOON drizzle fish. Holy, what the fuck? That's kind of cool, honestly. It doesn't even have to be ocean themed. This could have been a regular standalone gun, and it would have been a great regular standalone gun. But for whatever bumfuck grab bag reason, they put drizzlefish in its name to double down on the idea that fish guns were a good thing. Next up, we have the fetid emesis. Oh, I still don't have it down. Now this mutant terror that rules the sulfurous seas, this big radioactive Lovecraftian monster that is supposed to be the apex predator of one of the most dangerous biomes in the Terraria world, is a gun. They turned it into a gun. We scavenged its body and stuck a barrel in there, and instead of shooting acidic vortexes and tornadoes, it now shoots out 5.56. For the love of God, why is this a gun? Halibut cannon. It looks stupid. Now, I never got to use this gun directly in game. All I know is that it is a fish gun and it is therefore under my jurisdiction for me to roast the shit out of it. There is no concept to this gun. Nothing about that. You can take away the fact that this is a fish and it would still hold all of its originality. On top of that, it has a spectacle and a top hat as if to add insult to injury. Leviathan. They just straight up turned the Leviathan into a gun. I can see a barrel sticking out of its mouth. Is that blood? Did they just jam a barrel in this dude? They just did the same thing with the fetid emesis. Oh my god, I can't. We are now at the megalodon. As if making new aquatic weapons wasn't bad enough, they decided to expand on the mini shark series. Cause apparently we needed that. There's not much to say about this. It's a big scary ancient shark that once existed in the real world, was at the top of its food chain and everything. And now it's forever immortalized here in the form of a gun. Sea dragon. The next step of the megalodon. Everything I just said applies to this. Although, I hope this isn't based off of something real. If it did, we'd be having different problems. We got a bit of a bonus round here. The storm DRAGOON. But it also counts. Look at it. It's just giving you this shit-eating grin. This isn't even a problem about aquatic weapons, I just don't like the way this gun looks. I think it could have looked better. I mean, look at him. He just looks like he thinks he told the best joke in the room, and that's gonna be propelling his ego for at least 5 years. And finally, we are at the Void Dragon. The final, thankfully, the final gun in the Mini Shark series. Now, this isn't even based off of something fictional. The sea dragon, I understand, you know, dragons mixed with some elemental aspect. We've all seen something along those lines in some kind of mythology before. But the Void Dragon is not real. It's not even fake. It does not appear in common mythology or any folklore. This is the zenith of how absurd and ridiculous fish guns can get. It is a completely made up gun, originating from a completely stupid idea of combining guns with fish. Here, it's so easy, I'll make one myself. First, we have the shark. We bring in a shark because obviously we're gonna need a fish or some other kind of ocean animal. I don't know, the shark is the first thing that came to my mind. We behead it, take off its head, then we'll bring in, I don't know, the coin gun. Literally any gun works. We'll bring in the coin gun and we'll shave off a bit of the back of the gun so that it fits. We put the beheaded shark layer over it and boom, that's a gun. You know what I'm gonna call it? I could name it anything. It's just, listen, you can call this gun whatever you want. Call it the fish gun or whatever. But for the sake of concept and originality, I'm gonna call this the lone shark. There, your work's cut out for you. I just did your work. Terraria has wronged me, and I hope we can see some remedy in the 1.5 update that is coming within the near century.